Welcome back, everybody. So today, no intro, because there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening. Today's Europe's video, and I know I haven't made a video for 10 days. I forgot. Let's not talk about that. First thing we're gonna do is start right where we left off: the development of Europe, and specifically France. Basically, the French and the Red Team are obviously competing for to see who can get most of Europe under their control first. And so both countries right now have their sights set on the lowlands in Germany because a lot of scouts have been heading out to these places, and these places are confirmed to have a lot of gold in them. And so both countries are going to annex these two areas. Now, if you remember back in the old days, if you're an OG, these things used to have a country in them. So a lot of those people are now going to be very happy about this because they are reconnected with the rest of the world. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. Rome is going to try to get some land. However, uh, yeah, France is not going to allow that. Meanwhile, the French are also going to actually meet with the Red Team to decide the fate of all this because the Red Team actually offers France a very big deal. They basically offer France uh, to change the border, like literally just change it. They want France to sell them this and this. They want France to sell these two regions in exchange for not only protection money, basically, if anyone invades France, no matter the cause, no matter who started it, if a single troop from any country steps onto French land, the red team will declare war on that country. And the second thing is they're going to get a lot of money. They're going to get, let's say, 3.6 trillion, and currently their GDP is going to be 2 trillion. So literally, they're going to over double their GDP if they agree to this. However, this has a lot of gold in it. And the red team is going to continue claiming these lands just because they need that gold. The gold is estimated to be about 2 trillion. However, the French leader estimates that it's actually over 10 trillion worth of gold. So, yeah, let's keep watching, In the series, hopefully he's right because if he's not, he just messed up real bad. Now, we can go with Crimean expansion. That's the second thing we're going to do this video. But before we do that, let's hold up on that because we're actually going to have the red team starting an alliance, just like the blue team. Blue team has an alliance, right? Wait, does blue team have an alliance? Does it have an international alliance? Oh no, I forgot. Blue team has like a separate alliance for literally every part of the world. Um, yeah, I don't know what these guys were thinking when they decided to do that. Why would you not just make one big alliance? Red team isn't gonna roll like that though. They're gonna make one big alliance. So let's grab their biggest allies from every continent. Ottomans probably in Europe right here, and we're gonna mix those colors. Um, this is tricky. Who does the red team have in Africa? I feel like these guys. Yeah, let's just go with these guys. Asia. I don't think the red team has anybody in Asia. Actually, they used to have Japan a little bit. I think yeah, I don't think they have anybody. So this is the color of their alliance. We're gonna take this. We're gonna make it a little bit more red, just a little bit. Let's actually no. Let's turn down the opacity of that red and okay, this is yeah, that looks nice. So let's just place that in the red team, center the red team. The Ottomans are gonna be in it. Uh, who else? I I don't remember. Are the Mamluks red team allies? Um, I I think so. Yeah, yeah, they are. They are. Because I remember these guys. They helped and destroy the Romans. So yeah, okay. Well, in that case, I feel like we should add a little bit of yellow to this. Yeah, we should probably add a little bit of yellow. Let's take that. Let's place that on here. Let's take a little bit of red, redden that up a bit. And this is now the color. So, okay, let's put that back up. You guys get an alliance, you guys get an alliance, and you guys get an alliance. Nope, that's too big. You guys get an alliance. Who else? Is this Ottoman? Is this the same color? I feel like these are two different colors. Wait, are they? I can't tell the difference. This is 184, 61, 186. This is 186, 80, and 196. Okay, we're gonna change this a little bit so there I can tell the difference. Actually, let's change it a little bit more. Okay, that's better. Red team is allies with these guys also. These small guys right here, they're also allies with them. And in Africa, these guys are technically a puppet state of theirs, but we can include them in the alliance. This alliance is technically open; anyone can join it. So the red team is also going to offer anyone who wants to be their ally to join. Of these, I think no one wants to. Honestly, yeah, I don't think anyone wants to. I feel like these guys might because they're a blue team opponent, but they also like roll on their own. Oh, Japan, yeah, Japan is going to join. Just because Japan needs that money. Now it's an economic and military alliance. France is gonna think about joining, but right now no promises. And let's actually add an application process. Some countries are gonna try and apply, and this is going to include Stanistan and these guys. And let's just go ahead and say, yeah, Himalayas. They're gonna try to play both sides. Let's see how that goes. We'll see. But now Crimean expansion. So Crimea is kind of sick of not really being all of Crimea. So they're going to first expand up here. They want that colony. They're gonna need that. They want that. They're also going to actually expand down here. Now this is because they are changing their thing. At first it was just about money, now it's going to be about power and land, which is going to not go well. So firstly, this is after their new elections and a new leader is now in charge and it's a new king. So he's let's not do that part. Let's just do this right now. And this thing is gonna get extended a bit. Actually, wait. Yes, okay, that looks horrible. That is going to get extended. Nope. This is going to get extended. Eh. Yeah, okay. That's good. This gets extended and then uh what else? I feel like this should get extended. But does it? Uh yeah, we're gonna say it does. Oh, and then Crimea itself is going to get extended, which is going to be the thing that's actually going to throw off the red team, as they're going to claim this, but so is the red team. They have control, but red team is also going to claim it because they're going to be like, brother, we agreed not to colonize this land. So yeah, Crimea is going to expand a little bit right there, and next thing they're going to do is absolutely declare war on the Ottomans and try to steamroll these guys. Now this is because the Ottoman capital is very, very close to these guys. That's why this is gonna happen. But also because these guys really, really want to wait, hold up. So they're gonna reach the outskirts of the Ottoman capital, and these guys want control of the entire Black Sea now. So that's not looking good. They're actually going to completely destroy the capital of the Ottomans, and with the capital gone, captured, the capital has been captured now. So with the capital captured, the red team is going to get a little bit scared. Now this alliance is not an one, attack all type alliance. This alliance is you can file a case for support and then military aid will come. You're required to give military aid. You don't have to send troops though. Humanitarian aid is required though. So red team trucks are gonna go, and now one red team cargo ship is gonna end up strolling a little bit too close to. This is gonna be full of troops, and basically it's gonna be heading over to Crimea, mostly to refuel with the Ottomans. And as they're heading over, an unfortunate storm hits that makes them crash land over here, and all the Crimean Sea is a lot of troops that just landed on their shore, and they open fire. Both sides injure their troops. A few red team troops escape into this part of Crimea where they send a message back saying they were attacked, and the red team prepares for war. Now, Crimea knows they need to end this as soon as possible because there's absolutely no way that they're going to survive the red team attack. And so they get ready, they launch a blitzkrieg into the Ottomans, and they destroy a lot of land. Next thing they're gonna do is start moving through over here also to make a little bit of a front line. Now after this, the Ottomans sue for peace, and the blue team steps in to basically orchestrate a peace deal, and Now, looking at this, this is what they're going to agree on. The Ottomans are going to lose a lot of land. They're going to lose all of this, and they're going to lose a little bit over here. But that's mostly going to be a military area, and yeah, this is not looking good for the Ottomans. The capital is left unharmed because these guys don't really need it. They just need to maintain complete supremacy over the Mediterranean. That was their only goal. So they're not going to do anything. However, red team is going to step in, and now we have the first red team attacks. Now, the thing about the red team attacks is going to be that this is going to be our first ever naval fight. Now, red team ships are obviously going to have control of the red team naval area. They're also going to have control of this red team naval area, obviously. So this is red team's naval territory. I feel like I should just add the naval territory of all countries that have a navy. However, we're not going to do that. Only if it's a naval war, then there will be a naval territory. Um, yo, that was not good. Okay, so yeah, and then the Crimeans, they're going to have control over their naval territory. Their navy is pretty hard to see on here. I'm not going to lie. We're gonna raise the brightness. Okay. Before we do that, they're gonna have their naval territory like this. Uh, okay, that was. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so they're gonna have their naval territory. I can't speak. They're gonna have their naval territory right here, like this. Bro, tolerance 5%. Finally. Okay, so they're gonna have their naval territory. Our team has their naval territory, and we are actually going to take the Crimean color, raise the opacity to 60. I use 50 for opacity for all these, so we're gonna do 60% opacity. Then we're gonna color this and color this, so now it's more seeable. And now we see the movement. So firstly, red team naval ships are going to begin going towards the Crimeans, and the Crimeans are going to begin going towards the blue team, and the two are going to reach each other. Crimeans are going to try to go around the red team. However, it's not really going to work. Now, I want you to remember the Crimeans have one of, if not the best navies behind the blue team only. So the fact that this is taking so long is actually very, very bad. The Crimeans also are going to try their hardest to capture this part of Crimea. However, it's going to fight very vigilantly. That is not a word. Is that a word? They're going to try their hardest, and let's hope to succeed. Now, these guys are going to go through, and they're going to actually cut off the supply line over here, which is going to lead to the Crimeans having to go around again and start connecting up here. However, this side is not going to be able to do that, and those ships are going to be sunk. That's not good. The red team might be cooking. The red team is next going to cut off again, and this time they're going to capture these ships. That's not looking good. Now, bombardments are already going to begin, and yeah, the red team has gotten insanely close to Crimea, and they're quickly going to begin absolutely destroying the naval things on here, and eventually they're going to capture the entire coastline of this newly colonized area. And now, we're going to take red and yes. Okay, so now land invasion time. The red team is going to invade and capture a bunch of coastal cities over here, and that's not looking good. Next thing they're going to do is use these guys. Now, the red team basically allows these guys to work on their own because communications have been cut off, and this guy is going to pull the most risky move. He's going to invade Crimea. All of this newly colonized Crimean land is going to be invaded. And surprisingly, he's going to do really well, and the Crimeans were not at all prepared for this, and that's going to lead to them pulling back from this region. Already, this is not looking good for Crimea. After this, red team ships are going to begin appearing all around the coast of Crimea, and they're going to line themselves up right next to the Crimean Navy and basically form a big blockade of aid to Crimea from the international community, which is Yeah, this is not going well for Crimea. Crimea did not expect this. Eventually, the blockade is going to become bigger and bigger, and these guys are surprisingly going to destroy their blockade, and they're going to grab some stuff over here. And since this supply line is now cut, these guys are going to starve and they're going to be destroyed. From here, the red team is going to navally capture this, and now they have achieved naval supremacy. Yeah, this is not looking good for Crimea. Crimea is eventually going to sue for peace, and now taking a look at this peace treaty. So, first things first, let's undo all of this. This peace treaty is going to be probably stationed around Crimea mostly, like the land, not the country. This piece, this chunk right here. The red team is basically going to tell the Crimeans they cannot be doing this stuff anymore, and they're going to make the Crimeans give this up, but they're also going to make the Crimeans sign a deal that states that these guys literally cannot expand into Europe any further. So actually, what we're going to do is we're going to select all of the Ottoman stuff that these dudes just did. Because that's going to be important. We're going to select this. We're going to copy that, make sure that's copied to clipboard, and then we're going to start undoing all this. And okay, that one we're going to leave right now, and let's paste this back in. Okay, so this land they're going to keep. However, uh, this is not a peace treaty thing. This is them doing it themselves. The Crimeans are going to back this up a bit. They're gonna they're going to cut down on how much they expanded over there because they don't want a war with pretty close ally. These guys are pretty close to the red team now because especially since they allowed the red team to use a little bit of their ports in this war. That's yeah. Um Next thing, the Crimeans are going to be forced to give this land back. Like I said, this is an unconditional surrender. Uh yeah, that's not good. After this, the Crimeans are pretty cooked. They're pretty cooked. So, well, yeah, that's not good. Anyways, I know this one was a little bit short. I haven't recorded in a while because a lot of those videos are pre-recorded. So I am going to be trying my best to get back on the recording schedule. That's also why this was a 10-day gap. That's why I forgot. I thought I had pre-scheduled for longer. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. More coming out soon, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Also, we're back on the uh previous upload schedule. This was a one-time thing. I'm gonna try so there aren't any more gaps in my recordings. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.